DNA of the soul.
Welcome, I'm your host Kenny, and you're listening to Social Sleuth. You know the drill, we're back to yap. Today I'm joined by Lina, a certified cool girl, intellectual, artist, DJ, and above all, a woman seeking action.
Drum roll, please. Can anybody guess?
Welcome, Lina. Would you mind introducing yourself to start out?
Yeah, okay. My name is Lina. My DJ name is Runt, formerly known as Gasolina. I'm just chilling. I'm a DJ and I'm a big nerd on all sorts of things. So that's how people tend to know me.
Love it.
Yeah.
Good nerd energy in the room right now. And then just kind of get us warmed up. I think it's important to situate oneself in the World Wide Web. What side of the internet do you find yourself on? If you are okay with sharing.
Yeah, I definitely occupy like a lot of fake angel sighting, not necessarily a super friendly word, but like what's generally known as schizogram.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I'm on there. Lots of recipes as well, but definitely lots of like brain rot, and
Nice.
sometimes self-aware brain rot, sometimes not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're speaking the same language today.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. I thought so.
So beyond admiring your drive and commitment to crafting music, experiences, and realness online, I asked you to come on Social Sleuth because I noticed among the many people that I follow, you're one of the only people I know in real life that is both invested in and also sharing extremely tangible actions towards improving our relationship with the digital world.
Yeah.
There's a real passiveness that people have towards the injustices or sketchy behavior of tech companies, government bodies, and other stakeholders. We kind of spoke about it before we started recording, but it's really easy to feel really small. So bluntly, I asked you, what radicalized you?
Yeah. It's actually so crazy because when it comes to the internet and data extraction and all that, I don't even know if I can place when and what made me feel uncomfortable and like that was something that was something I needed to speak out against. Not that I'm an advocate or anything, but I would say what took me from being in a place of like, this is weird and I don't like this, to being in a place where I'm like, okay, I need to like be more vocal about it, is probably what's going on with probably what's going on with Meta and the relationship with Meta and Trump and Spotify as well. And that's been going on for like several years. But I would say that my like political radicalization has just bled into my like social media criticism or whatever. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the to bring you back into sociology, but the personal is political.
Yeah.
Like, it all adds up.
Yeah.
It's a really hard question. I couldn't answer that one myself. Of what radicalized me. It is really just this building.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've been radicalized at so many points along the way in so many different things. And I feel like sometimes we get radicalized and then we become desensitized. And so sometimes there's like cycles with these things. Because I honestly, like, I don't remember when I first started being more critical about this. I probably always had moments of feeling like critical, feeling like something was not okay, and then just like getting used to it and then coming back to feeling like it's something that, yeah. But I think the Spotify one really continues to drive forward because it is such a clear issue, and it's something that's like still just so difficult for people to reflect, well, not reflect on, but to like move on from, I guess.
Do something about it.
To do something about it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It feels like an abusive relationship.
Yeah. It's
not to discount that, but it's just like I can't explain it in any other words.
It's
cyclical. You're right.
It's so true. Yeah. And it's like we get love bombed by these things, right? Like we literally like, it's like, this is so not okay. And I've been exposed to, but I also think that that's just the way that we receive so much information. We're constantly being like pushed to our limit with certain topics and then having to find a way to like keep living and keep moving forward. So like, yeah, you just keep getting love bombed by, you know, these terrible tech companies and just like, yeah.
And then it goes on.
And then it goes on. And then it goes on. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But in my sleuthing, you've kind of hinted at a little bit. But I found your post about migrating away from Meta on Medium. That's right. Very comprehensive. I'd like to link it if that's okay with you. Do you think you'll finally pull the plug on Meta?
I would like to. Yeah. First I'm going to retire from DJ.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Because unfortunately, yeah, the issue is that like, as long as I'm doing events, as long as I have something that I need an audience for, I can't get off of it. But the thing is, then I find myself doom scrolling for several hours, and then I'm like, this has nothing to do with my business account on Instagram. It's just two separate things. And so, yeah, I think that I'd have to stop DJing first. Yeah. And it's just so, I don't want to speak like I'm an expert on these things because I would think of myself as an example of why social media has gotten to a point where it's like so devastating. It's because I'm feeling the effects in myself. I'm feeling the effects of my psyche. I'm feeling how it has taken years away of my life, probably. It has very negatively impacted my attention span, my opinions about things, my perception of the world, my freedom. I feel the effect of those in a way that like I think we all will if things continue. And I think most people do feel that way. It's just a question of like how much are you thinking about that? Yeah. But one day I will pull the plug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I asked that question sort of more of as an advice because I'm also feel like I'm always on that fence of you want to be able to reach out to people that you know, which I think is easier to get off of social media. Those are your close friends or your family, and you can text them or call them or go knock on their door. But when you're looking for an audience and you're building a business, you are sucked into it. You feel locked in.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is like when I've been vocal about those things on social media, I have so many people who reach out to me who are typically like artists or people who have small businesses or services that they provide. And they're like, I literally cannot continue to do what I do without social media. And I think that that's very valid and we all need to survive under capitalism. But at the same time, it also turns what we create into a commodity, right? Like I don't see what these people post. Like I don't see what my friends post. I don't see it.
I see sponsored ad.
Yeah.
I see this account that I allegedly followed.
Exactly. And so like it is important to have all your stuff in one place so people can access it. But we've also like algorithms have affected culture in a way that it's you need to be able to market what you're doing. You need to be able to flatten it into the algorithm. So culture has now become something that is like distilled into short form content. Even like this is something that I come across a lot in the like electronic music, dance music realm is just everything is like starter pack-ified, you know? Like, so, okay, if you're going to go to a rave, this is your starter kit. This is this starter pack, right? So that like meme format of like, okay, you wear these sunglasses and you wear this type of top and you bring this. And then when you see a poster for an event and it like, you can identify sort of how you need to perform in that space based on the memes that you see on the internet. So the actual experience of showing up to a rave has become like, performing sort of the content that you've seen.
Artificial.
It's artificial. And you're performing like, the simulation of rave culture that you've come across through like short form content on the internet.
Wow.
Yeah. So
like it's not my scene. Like it's not where I find myself. But to know that it's just being like, it feels like a puppet master up top.
Yeah. It's become something that I'm struggling with I mean, I think the Resonance Collective, the group that I'm a part of, we've always been sort of aware of that and trying to resist that, since that's been very much like a foundational, I think, motivator. But I'm getting to the point where I'm like struggling to imagine myself even being able to accomplish what I want to accomplish, because it's so deeply ingrained. And it's like there's this spotlight on the dance floor of like surveillance, because if everyone's performing, everyone, like when you perform something, someone's watching you, right? So like you're performing it for other people, so there's this like surveillance loop that's created on the dance floor. Yeah, I'm doing research to write a paper on this topic, but yeah, essentially, when you have a performance, you have a script and you have a subject. So you have the subject who's going to perform the script, whatever the script is, Rave, baddie, or whatever. And then that creates a performance, or like performativity, that is then requires an audience or like an observer to observe the performance. And that is a form of surveillance. So when you're on the dance floor, you're like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm wearing the right things, that I'm acting the right way, and that I'm dancing the right way. I'm saying the right things. I'm doing the right things. I'm doing what rave people do, because everyone else is watching me and we're all performing this collectively, as opposed to the dance floor being a liberatory space for like resistance and self-expression, which is what it has been historically. So really, when you go to the rave, except for like very intentionally created spaces, it's become like a space of performativity and surveillance, and it's like a simulation of what a rave once was, right?
And it just creates feedback loops, and it gets reproduced, and then it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it's like the panopticon.
Yeah.
Of like, you're being watched, but you can't see who's watching you, so you perform anyways.
Exactly. Yeah, that's totally what it is, because it's like, and it's especially weird in a dark room, right? It's especially weird when you actually like can't even fully see the people around you, but like you have this, or like photographers at the rave. I went to an event and I was so excited about the music, and I needed to like dance and express myself, and I was just feeling the music, and every time that it would like build up in me to this moment of like just like absolutely releasing and like dancing so hard, I'd have my eyes closed, I'd open my eyes, and there's a photographer in my face just trying to like capture those moments of authentic expression. And I hated that.
Yeah, that ruins it.
Yeah, I hated that. And then I had to like inhibit that, because I didn't want that being captured. And I didn't want to feel like someone's watching me. I wanted to be in a dark room.
You weren't performing.
I wanted to
You were
performing.
just being.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting to look at surveillance in the physical space, because I'm often looking at it in the digital realm. And as much as that makes me really sad, it's just a new frontier, I think, that I need to explore.
Yeah. Well, they bleed into each other.
Absolutely.
Because
if you're
like,
chronically online.
Exactly. You create this like avatar of yourself online, then you have to perform that out in the world. And then you're performing this this simulation of yourself that's being observed by other people. You have to self-surveil yourself to make sure that you're performing for other people to surveil you in the way that you want to be surveilled.
Seems like way too much work.
Yeah. I know.
But it's subconscious.
It is.
In a lot of ways.
It is. And in a lot of ways, I feel like it's almost like natural to want to take control of our image, or take control of how we're being perceived. And especially in a world where we're perceived so much. It's so vulnerable. I posted something to my close friends story. I used to do that so much, but I haven't done it in so long. And I did it a couple times. And then one time I did it, and I sort of posted something that was like not very well thought out, but I was just posting it to my close friends. And then the feeling of having put something out there that didn't feel so like edited and like curated and like polished was so overwhelmingly vulnerable. I had like a crisis all day because I was like, I can't believe I put that out there. And it's my close friends. Like, I mean, it's not just my closest friends, but like it's you know, in theory, it's people that I trust more than just like all my followers. It was extremely overwhelming, and I realized like there's something that has changed either in me or in these platforms since when I used to do that, which was maybe 4 years ago, and now we're like now I can't handle the fact that I don't know, maybe it's the fact that I feel like more perceived on the internet after having like gained a bit more of an audience like from DJing and stuff and having more like strangers as opposed to like just friends, right?
I'm glad you said that. I'm just sort of like starting out and my podcast finds its way to people just like organically, not necessarily following. But I have found that, and I didn't used to post anything like say years ago to sort of compare it. But it's that it goes into the abyss and you just sort of wait. Like every month I click send and it's like some sort of therapy for myself at this point. It feels so vulnerable. And there's nothing that really should be that terrifying about it.
Yeah. But it goes to show as well, like, it goes to show how much we've maybe not thought about those things enough in the past. Like the stuff I used to post on my Instagram back in the day, like, Lord, you know, and to be fair, I used to have an Instagram that was very, very, very limited. Like I would reject follow requests from people that I knew. Like it was very, very limited. And I think since having a public Instagram at that, changes it a lot. And I wouldn't say that I have a following. I would say that I have like a very publicly accessible account that like people check on for events.
Yeah.
So there's a different level of like being perceived. Or like sometimes, sometimes we forget that because it's so unnatural. It's so unnatural.
Yeah, maybe it feels bigger than it used to, like that perception.
Yeah.
The internet felt a lot smaller.
Yes.
And now it could be anywhere. Or a screenshot, and then it's here, and then it's there. Or we see so much like clipping of media as well.
Yeah.
To like make people look bad. Get us back in. So Meta eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually pull the plug.
Eventually, yeah, in theory. And it's like what we were saying earlier. If I haven't pulled the plug in 10 years, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a real problem.
It's weird for me to think of it existing in 10 years.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Who knows what will happen in 10 years?
Have you heard of the dead internet theory?
Yes. Yeah.
It also, I feel like it kind of all blurs together in my mind.
Yes. Especially with AI. Especially with, I did a deep dive on like bots. I never really had much of an interest in bots, but like, just the sheer number of bots on the internet. And so I've been making note to like look on Instagram comments of like brain rot and see who's commenting. And it's total bot behavior.
Total bot behavior.
I saw one and it's like a video of like these people washing carrots and it's just like brain rot. And all the comments are like, don't you know carrots grow underground? Carrots are grown underground. Carrots underground. And it's like they're all obviously bots. They've got like 2 followers, 12 followers, and they're all talking about bots or carrots being grown underground for some reason. But it is, I think that is like a very large like undercurrent of the internet that we don't necessarily interact with a lot or think about, but it's a big thing.
Oh, I think about it.
You think about it
at night.
at least
late at night, laying in my bed. What is wrong with the world?
Someone's thinking about it. That's good to hear.
Okay, so I'll move us into sort of more connecting. So what this podcast is about internet culture, how and what we share online is ingested and reproduced. So obviously Spotify is huge for hosting music and podcasts. Creators and consumers know this. We feel sort of locked in a lot of ways. So it takes up more space in the conversation. Firstly, we know that artists aren't being paid adequately. And now I come to learn through something that you had posted that the Spotify CEO, not directly, I think it's like through his business, whatever, is investing like 700 million euros in the military AI startup Helsing. Just to pause.
Yeah.
Because how did we get here and where are we going? But what do we do?
Yeah.
I know you can't solve these problems, or you would, but as an artist, how do you react to this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we need to get off Spotify. I think that like as a generation, and I don't want to sound like I'm like, oh, you guys, like this is, I only got off Spotify like this year. It was very difficult for me, but I think that as a generation, we feel very entitled to like unlimited streaming of music, which is a very new service. Like I remember when this started being so accessible, like in my lifetime. And oh gosh, I just have so many thoughts on this. I need to rein it in and just narrow it down. Yeah, how did we get here? I don't know, man. This is what happens when you put something as precious and human as music into the hands of tech oligarchs. Is they will do this kind of thing. Also, tangentially, Boiler Room, which is a very well regarded event production company, and that sort of is like an icon for like underground dance music. And they have been bought out, and now the company that has bought them out is also like a huge funder of weapons that are linked to Israel. And they've also bought, I think, DEF CON, which is like a music festival. They've like bought out a bunch of these like cultural hubs of music, and are using that money to fund like genocide, which is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw you posted more today. I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Eyes were wide. I had a couple of notes about this because I was feeling really energized yesterday when I was reading it and writing these notes, but it feels like a bait and switch, or like me being naive, to not only profit off of exploitation, but then to use that profit to feed the military machine.
Yeah.
I wrote barf on there. Not very thoughtful, but it's just...
Yeah, I mean, it's wild because it's like not only is your Spotify premium membership not supporting the artists you listen to, unless you're listening to like top trending artists, it's also funding weapons. And something about Helsing that is interesting is that they fund or they supply weapons to Israel, but also to Ukraine. So but yeah, it's confusing. It's very complicated. But the point is that they are funding weapons that are being used to hurt people, and especially people who are in Gaza. Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because I think it's sort of important, because I was having a conversation with someone today from Ukraine who's like, oh, they're also doing good because these weapons are like helping my country. So there's like nuance there that I think is important to have. But yeah, Spotify is just like an evil beast, and not just for their weapons relationships or underpaying artists, but the Spotify model is so detrimental to culture. The fact that you can have essentially what is like auditory slop fed to you through like recommended music desensitizes us so much to how precious music is. And it wasn't that long ago where if you wanted to listen to music, you either couldn't choose it, you had someone curating it for you, like a real human who knows a lot about music curating it for you, or you had to like go out and find it and buy it or steal it or whatever, if you really wanted to listen to it. And I just don't think that we're entitled to all the music all the time, endlessly. I just don't think that that's right. Yeah.
I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But that is a really good summary of the model itself.
Yeah. I feel similarly about pretty much all streaming platforms except for SoundCloud. SoundCloud is, I think the thing with music streaming platforms is like convenience is a sign that there's something wrong. SoundCloud is not necessarily super convenient. It can be a little bit less intuitive. You have to sort of find the music that you want to listen to. It won't just be fed to you, but I think that's a healthy process to go through.
Kind of part of the joy.
Yeah.
Of like finding something that speaks to you.
Exactly. So I definitely use that. I just think that, again, I don't want it to seem like I think I'm an expert on this. I think that DJing has severely impacted my relationship with music in a way that I think like helps. Yeah.
That's part of the reason I asked you.
Yeah.
So not to argue with my guests, but you were an expert in your experience, and I think that is more than enough.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, yeah, I mean, I just think that like it's hard for all of us, and I don't necessarily have the answers. And yeah, when I post about Spotify stuff, I have a lot of people like ask me what they should do. And first of all, I think people should think for themselves, not to be rude, but like I also think that it's great to have conversations about it, because sometimes people bring up things that I like maybe don't encounter so much. But I think that maybe it's not a bad thing if we don't have access to music all the time. Like, what if
I don't think that's that crazy of a thought.
Yeah.
It seems like, to say it seems really bold.
Like a hot take.
But like if we take a second, it wasn't that long ago. Like you just said, it's in our lifetime.
Yeah. And how would that impact like how many shows you go out to? Like how much more would we support live music? How many venues in the city would we save if we actually like felt like going to see live music was such a enriching way to experience music? Like, people complain about, because we lost 8 venues in the city this last year, which has been devastating. But, like the antidote to that is to actually go out and like
do
something. Yeah.
Care. Put your money where your mouth is.
Exactly. And if it's,
as a hypocritical introvert.
Well, it's so fine though to be, But I mean,
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. And if it's $20 to go to an event, how much are you spending $20 on Spotify a month, and you're not even supporting the artist? Just go out. Yeah. I mean, get an MP3 player. YouTube. Yeah. YouTube is also not the best, but like at least artists get more compensation through their ads. SoundCloud. CDs.
Mm-hmm.
SoulSeek. SoulSeek is kind of like LimeWire, but safer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you want to rip. Yeah.
Yeah. Good to know. Yeah. I also shamelessly will find one album and listen to it for like 3 months.
Yeah. And I do that too. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I should buy this. Another thing that I always recommend to people is radio. I think that radio is like, especially if you need sort of like ambient music. So either like, you have to put music on at work, or you like to listen to music while you're like doing something. I always recommend NTS radio to people. It's a really great radio station based out of London. You can access them on the internet. They always have 2 broadcasts going on at the same time. And then they also have collections of like every radio show they've ever done that are curated. The shows themselves are curated, and they're sometimes curated into like collections. So there'll be like different like funk from Ethiopia from the 1970s, or like Japanese psychedelic jazz, or just like Detroit hip hop like 1984 or something like that. So they're like very well curated. And then they also have infinite mixtapes. So again, if you want like ambient music, there's like different vibes, and it's supporting a great thing. They have extremely like knowledgeable experts that curate their shows, as well as like listeners and all sorts of people. I do love them. Yeah.
And it is the same thing with so many things that we feel called to, maybe myself, whine about in the world. But like radio's dying. Well, listen to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then maybe it won't die.
Literally. Oh no, they're closing all the venues in the city. Go to the event.
We're sitting here talking about these deep questions. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. Figure it out.
Yeah. No, that's a really good resource. Thank you.
Yeah. That's a big one that I plug. Nice.
Cool. Okay. But moral of the story, think for yourself, figure it out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's also, it is good to talk to people about it. Like, and I think it's great that people like want to talk to me about it, and I'm open to talking about it. But, I'm also like, there's so many things you could do. Maybe you should experiment and see what works for you. I don't know. That's just a thought.
It's a good thought. Okay. So I'm going to exploit more of your niche interest.
Sure.
But selfishly, I wanted to pick your brain about Techno-Feudalism.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah.
And the new Techno-Feudal order. And it just sounds cool as
Yeah.
hell.
Hard name. Love it.
It instantly clicked. Like, I get what's going on, but I had never come across the term. Did a little bit of a deep dive. I'm not an expert. I don't expect you to be an expert. But what do you think? Like, how do you see this developing? Are we already there in your mind? Like, if we can just sort of hypothesize a little bit, imagine.
Yeah. Man, I love that man, Yanis Varoufakis. I just think, yeah, he has done such a great service with that. I think it's like one of the most on the nose. He's really figured something out. Yeah. I do think that, I absolutely think that we're there. I absolutely think that we're there. Like, yeah, of course, there's still the logic of capitalism and the infrastructure of capitalism that like we are built upon. But I absolutely think that that we live in a techno-feudal order for sure, and especially like after the Trump inauguration with all those tech oligarchs there. And even just the way that after that moment, I felt like everyone was referring to them as tech oligarchs. And I don't think I heard that much before, like maybe every once in a while. But now it's like, yes, they are tech oligarchs. That's like they're commonly referred to that. I think that goes to show how like even just the common perception of the state of the world, the Western world, is shifting to like reflect the techno-feudalism. Spotify is a great example of techno-feudalism because the tech oligarch Daniel Ek, the owner of Spotify, is the feudal lord in this example, and us as consumers, we're the serfs. The music itself, the artist is the vassal, so the person that owns the land, that owns the resource, because they also do make money. I need to stop thinking about small artists. Need to start thinking about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, right?
Taylor Swift doesn't need to take up anybody else's mind space.
But no, I guess what I'm trying to say is like Daniel Ek is the feudal lord. Taylor Swift, or the artists, they're the vassals, and the music is the product, and we are the serfs, and we consume, and we are creating the profit for the vassals, but ultimately for the oligarch. And unless this vassal is like a pretty significant duke, right, like Taylor Swift, then they're not they're not being compensated for what they're doing. But they're paying not for they're paying for the algorithm. And that's what makes it techno-feudal and not just feudal.
Mm-hmm. I like what you said before too about the oligarch.
Yeah.
And this, like, not out of nowhere. Like, it was coming, but it was January, flip of a switch. I know I like kind of heard the few whispers, and you kind of saw like the puzzle pieces coming together, like you said, with like Musk and Trump, and like, and you throw Zuck in, and then you throw everyone else in, and you hear these words going around, and it's building. But I heard it a couple of times. I was in like Austin in March, and it was the buzzword.
Yeah.
They were the tech oligarchs.
Yeah.
Like, it was this new word. It's like, how have I gone the last 24 years of my life? I've never heard this.
Yeah.
And now it is just everywhere. And now it's here. And I feel like it's stuck.
Yeah. And I think that people are like feeling that.
It's a weird time to be alive.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
Really is.
I can feel the shift.
Yeah. And I think that that's the thing with techno-feudalism is like, it's almost like, man, this is so crazy to say, but like actual capitalism would be a little bit better, because like, everyone is being exploited to a point that is like, we've gone full circle. We've gone full circle from like serfdom to, consumers back to serfdom. And I think that's what people from older generations have such a hard time pinpointing to like why our generation has and millennials have such a hard time is like the ground is totally shifted. Like everything is different now. And if there was no revolution in 2008 when everyone got screwed over, there were obvious culprits. There was reason for there to be a revolution, and there wasn't. It was also significant and makes me sad.
Why wasn't I doing more when I was 8?
I should have been out there on the streets occupying. Yeah.
I think it's so interesting and so terrifying. But at the end of the day, like it's here. And it's really weird to witness like capitalism die. Because like there's a big push of like that was a big goal. But I don't think that goal was like with the idea of techno-feudalism on the other side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's like what
do we want? Where were we going?
Where were we going and what was the goal? Because like capitalism, the natural conclusion of capitalism has not been just like we all have really great products because there's competition and that makes everything really good. It's actually just that you have these super inflated corporations that take over everything and become essentially like feudal lords. And it's interesting because I really like sci-fi. And you see a lot of sci-fi in the 80s that it tends to have like really cool gadgets and even flying cars. Like, flying cars were predicted to like be a thing.
I feel like we were promised.
We were promised flying cars and we didn't get them. At the end of the day, it's not about improving our quality of life. It's about increasing profits. So if it was about improving our quality of life, if it was that we could vote with our dollar, we would have really cool stuff and our lives would be a lot better. But that's not what it is. We still have gas cars and terrible things. Printers have not gotten any better in the last...
If not, they've gotten worse.
last 20 years. No one's figured out printers. They never work.
They never work.
Big printer, I'm onto you. But yeah, I just feel like there's like a sort of like a utopian imagining of the future that we were promised that no one saw. Well, I don't know if no one saw it coming, but it's definitely taken a lot of us by surprise.
I'm gonna have to look more into it too. I'm glad this is a new thing for me, a new like niche interest I can dive into and explore.
Yeah. Well, it's almost slightly. It almost gives me a different sense of hope, though, because I think if we're not able to really fully explain what's going on, then it's worse. Like if we're living under what is really techno-feudalism, but we still think it's capitalism, we're never getting out of it. And I think that having the ability to name things and identify what's going on is absolutely the path out. And it's a lot easier to take down a feudal lord. Like there's a reason why we shifted out of feudalism. It's easy to kill a king, right? Well, it's not the only reason that we shifted out of that, but like in feudalism, it's easy to like target one person. You see something that's going wrong. There's an injustice. The peasants can gather and like.
I wonder. That made my brain click. Yeah, we're definitely there.
Yeah.
We've seen this.
Yeah.
There's a pretty famous guy sitting in jail right now.
Yeah. Totally.
Right?
Totally.
Yeah. It's easier to identify.
Yeah, it's easier to identify because when they're, under like pure capitalism, what are you going to do? You're going to burn down the stock exchange, but the money is not even there. I don't know where the money is. Like, I mean,
money's made up.
Money's made up. And don't you know? At the same time, like, it's still that way. We do still have the foundations of capitalism. It's just that, like, it's becoming increasingly obvious who the culprits are. Right? Cough, cough, Jeff Bezos' $50 million wedding. Oh my gosh. Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those private planes.
Yeah. Yeah. They're all eco-terrorists. Yeah. Or not eco-terrorists. What's the word? Anyways, they're all terrible people.
I feel like I need a bell. Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding. Like, yes. Claps. I agree.
Yeah.
This wasn't an episode that I was just an echo chamber of sorts, but I hear you.
Yeah.
I think we're onto something. So we've used our brains a lot. We've gone on a couple side quests, but on a scale of run into the woods and forget about 21st century tech and moving to Silicon Valley and getting a brain chip, where are you at?
Oh, I'm on the running into the woods side. Yeah. I think that I will eventually be in a small town. I, along with every single person, that I've ever spoken to, have this dream of like having a little homestead with my friends. Which is so incredible that so many people have that dream, regardless of, what they do or like their political beliefs. It's like, I have that in common with like trad wives who are like on the right. I don't know. It's just, I think that people are like, uncomfortable with the way things are. But I think that I eventually will, run into the forest. Yeah. Yeah. But I also, sometimes I'm like, maybe I want to pursue, a career, studying this stuff. And that means I wouldn't have to be on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to know what's going on.
It's a double-edged sword.
I would have to be in touch with all the brain rot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say what the future holds. Yeah.
Running into the woods would be so nice.
Yeah.
It doesn't solve all the problems, but it is
Yeah.
really a good point. It's kind of, I don't know if it's generationally or just the weird time that we happen to find ourselves in on Earth, but it is definitely not just one group of people. There seems to be a very general consensus that is the next step.
Yeah. It's almost interesting when you connect it to Techno-Feudalism, though, because it's like we all want to go back to full circle peasants again. Actually, no, we want to be vassals. We don't want to, but we want to, like, right, we don't want to serve other people in our homesteading, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that city life is just so inconceivable. And also, you know, it's just, yeah, people want to break. People want to touch grass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hard to touch grass when you live in a cement kingdom.
Yeah. I'm really a big fan of like the solar punk world. I don't even know how you describe it. Ideology and aesthetic. Have you heard of this?
No, I'm gonna write it down.
It's different from steampunk.
Okay.
Essentially, it's like technological utopia and environmental utopia together.
It's exactly what I imagined when I looked up images.
Solar punk.
These might be AI.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. So
that's cool as hell.
Yeah, that's
just put me on all the good shit.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like the solar punk. I hope to have a solar punk future. Mm-hmm.
Keep getting served all the cob houses.
Yeah. Cob houses are the way to go. Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
Everyone builds them together and then you go build someone else's.
Yeah.
I love that.
And they're like climate disaster proof, earthquake, fire, flood proof.
Oh, look like a little fairy.
Yeah.
Okay, so not into the woods yet, but maybe on the way.
Yeah.
I've been asking lots of big questions, asking how to solve all the world's problems. I have one more.
Okay.
Around the same line. What do you think is the way out for these challenges? And it could be for like thinking of everybody. It could just be for yourself. It doesn't have to be huge. It can be. But yeah, what is the way out?
Yeah, well, I guess the thing that's tricky with running into the woods is it is like escapist, and it's you are like relinquishing your responsibility to others other than the people that you choose to live with. So I don't necessarily think it's like the most ethical option all the time. I think that it's so unfortunate because technological advancement brings a lot of convenience, and it's so so hard for the human brain to go from convenient to inconvenient. It's so hard for us to go back. But I think the only way for us to regain freedom and privacy is to get off of social media, get off of Spotify, get a flip phone, maybe use email. Oh my gosh, Google. Oh, I don't know how we'll ever get away from Google. Like, it stresses me out to think about, because it's just, it's too much. I think that we seriously need people who are making alternatives to these platforms that are nonprofit. I think there is like an interesting solution, which is like having people pay to access social media platforms so that they're not being marketed to. I like that in theory, but at the same time, I don't know about you, but I don't trust that. Like, I don't trust that they still won't access my data.
No.
I just don't trust that.
When you have so many companies that are lying right to your face.
Yeah.
And then someone goes, oh, what they're doing, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Why am I going to trust you?
Well, yeah. And
I don't know you.
It's like when
I thought I could trust them.
Yeah. And it's so funny because this used to be big news. But when that thing came out with like Facebook taking all our data for the elections and all that, now we're like, oh, yeah, whatever. We know they'd do that. But
we're just okay with it.
Yeah.
Just passive.
Yeah. We're like, it's just been resorbed into like the normal. But yeah, I don't trust that even if I paid like $4 a month to access Google, that they wouldn't still steal my data and just not give me ads. I just think that the real problem is like we need to focus on like what is actually the problem. The problem is like these billionaires. That is the problem. If we have these platforms or alternatives to these platforms that are not run for profit or not run by malevolent forces that are trying to like literally affect geopolitics, then I think there could be some really good stuff that comes out of the internet.
Yeah.
Like how it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a wild place, but it was honest in that way.
It
you knew what to expect. It was raw.
It felt different. Yeah. It felt different.
I kind of talked about it a little bit with one of my first guests, but just this idea of how it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And we can go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've just decided that we can't, and we have to like keep with like the rhetoric that all these tech companies are pushing of innovate.
Yeah.
How can we extract more? How can we make more? How can we make it easier and better for you?
Yeah.
I don't really want anything more. I like typing on my computer.
Yeah.
I like sending an email to my granny. Like,
yeah.
I think it can be a really healthy tool, but we have to stop asking more of it.
Yes.
That's for me, at least. Like, I don't need more.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
I could talk a little bit about how my recording program uses AI. I wouldn't not have a podcast if I didn't have that as an option. I would sit there and I would click and cut it.
Yeah.
That is an option. Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, we're always trying to find like the ways to streamline things and make things better and more efficient and better. And it's kind of tangential, but I was actually just thinking about this the other day about my life. Like sometimes I get so caught up in like, oh, these are my problems right now. This is my list of problems. These are my life. I have these challenges. But then I'm like, you know what? Like I live a good life. Like I need to like consciously intervene into my brain and be like, just be, you don't have to always be improving. You don't have to always be like making things as good as possible. Like you have a lot to be grateful for and you have a lot that's good. And, so I think there's something really, deep in something that's like very deeply embedded in our brains to like constantly seek to improve our circumstances, make things easier. And I think that's what's brought us to be where we are. And that's what's made us evolve, is that impulse. But the same thing is going to apply to technology, and the same thing is going to apply to like capitalism and seeking profit, right? So constant extraction, and it's not. Yeah, I didn't have anything to end that thought.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
It's a good point. It's we are our own worst enemies.
yeah,
Like what improves us is also what will kill us.
yeah.
That was dark. We're gonna die.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, I don't know, unless you figure it out, right?
Like that is really the reality of it when you dive deeper into this idea of surveillance and the policing of our bodies and using maybe like benign ways of surveillance that we don't think are dangerous, and then being able to use that technology and that information against people,
Mm-hmm.
like the necropolitical side of it.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that with like period tracking apps
Mm-hmm.
in the US with like abortion access,
Mm-hmm.
and using that to locate somebody in a clinic to then charge them.
I did not know that. That is so,
Yeah.
that is so Black Mirror.
So Black Mirror. There's no other way to describe it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's pretty sickening. But it's true. Like it is, that is like the path that things go down.
Like, oh, who cares if my app is tracking me? It's just a game. It's just Candy Crush or what. I don't know what the game was.
Yeah.
I won't out them, but I'm just playing Candy Crush on my phone, and now it's being used to prosecute me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Not on my bingo card.
Yeah. But that is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And like we have to find ways to like divest and get off of social media. I don't know.
I'm going to circle back to the first question. What radicalized me? This conversation.
Yeah, literally.
Go home and delete everything.
Yeah. Oh, man. I wish.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad. Like, I'm so addicted to my phone. I'm so passionate about it, and I talk about it so much, and sometimes I lecture people about it, but like, it's because I really am upset with myself, like I'm so addicted to my phone. I can't get off of it. Like, I just need to, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I just need to scroll.
I can't stop. It's just, yeah.
I empathize with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the side of the disappointment in yourself, and there's like shame with it because you're so self-aware of what's going on. But then I think there needs to be also like some sympathy to ourselves. Not that we should like make it okay. Yeah. Sometimes I'm too soft on myself too.
Yeah.
But these things are created to be addicting.
Yeah.
Right? There is purpose behind it. It's not a moral failing to be addicted to these things that were designed to hook us, psychologically tested to make you want to do it. It's silently persuading us.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. Like I like to think, oh, I'm smarter than that. Like, you can't get me, but it happens.
It does.
And like we were talking about our parents, and you watch it happen to them, and these are people that you think like that wouldn't happen to them.
Yeah.
And it does.
It does, because it's there's so much thought that's been put into that. Like, there have been so many team meetings. I think the thing that I keep coming back to is this thought. I don't want to be too like doomy, but like, if we all recognize how bad social media is, and we can't get off of it, we're screwed. Like, that's it.
I think we're screwed, Lina.
I think we're screwed. And like, that's why I get really doomy, is like, I talk about this with so many people all the time, and everyone's like, yeah, I think that there's this like feeling around social media now. I think the people generally, the like approval of social media has gone down. Like, I don't feel like people talk about it so positively anymore. I feel like no one's like, oh, I love my Instagram. Like, oh, I love just like curating this image. Also, I mean, someone said something to me the other day, which is like, posting on social media is cringe. And I post on social media all the time. And I was like, oh, you're so right. I think that maybe the hope there that I'm seeing is like that, because people are recognizing it, and it's getting to a point where people realize they feel terrible after doom scrolling. People realize how weird social media is, how bad they feel when they're using it, that they're going to become obsolete eventually, hopefully. However, so I recently found out that Instagram Reels are like losing, they've gone down in engagement. And story clicks have also gone down. So it's, first is DMs is the most often clicked thing on Instagram. And then it's stories, and then it's Reels. And so Reels are where, Reels and stories are where most of the ads are. So the idea is that soon there will be ads in the DMs, which is wild. And actually WhatsApp is going to be introducing, if not already, ads as well.
Nice. Because WhatsApp's part of Meta.
WhatsApp is part of Meta, yeah. But it's like only that private space. Like Instagram has the private of the DMs, the semi-private of like friends and stories, and the fully public. So the ads are in the public and the semi-private, but not in the private.
It's only one next logical step.
Yeah, I can't cite my source right now, but I did like read that somewhere. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But it's interesting because that means that engagement is going down. Yeah.
That's good. And I guess also to see the DMs, people are using it how it was intended.
Yeah.
To socialize.
Yeah, totally.
Not to compare or brain rot or whatever.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good hope. As we like dwindle to the end, we can have a little glimmer of it.
Yeah.
So as someone that uses social media and the web as a tool for professional means, how, if at all, do you adapt your leisure time? Like you kind of talked about, like, we have this addiction. I'm going to say we because you're not alone in it. I am very much there with you.
Thank you.
But how do you stay grounded? Or try to?
Yeah. I think that it's really important to have people who help me stay accountable to myself. I think it's really important to like have time to introspect and like reflect inward, because it's that like self-consciousness that helps intervene in the like doom scrolling behavior. And the times that I have been the most disconnected have been times where I'm in a place where I'm feeling really fulfilled, or like feeling like I have a purpose. And I do think sometimes that social media sort of pokes at that void that we have. And I think it's really important to like create the best circumstances that we can for ourselves in our lives, so that we so that it doesn't become this like a coping mechanism, which I think it often is, right? It's like when you're like have that impulse to doom scroll, it's like, well, what am I feeling? What am I avoiding right now? So yeah, I think that's, yeah, trying to always keep like really good books on hand so that I can read instead of doom scroll, but they have to be really good. Because if they're a little bit boring, I'm not going to read it.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to have something that's actually going to fill that space and like retrain yourself, right?
Like now I just like, it's got to be really gripping. Yeah.
That's a really good point. I like what you said. Yeah, when you're fulfilled around you, it's not as much of a crutch. Like I spend time with my family and I don't pick up my phone.
Yeah.
It doesn't like pop into my brain because I'm engaged with them.
Yeah, exactly. When I went woofing, like working on organic farms, and I spent time in my family's village in Spain, and I was totally disconnected, like entirely. I had WhatsApp to talk to my family, and I, used Google Maps and stuff, but I didn't really have Wi-Fi or data, and I deleted all my social media, and I was so happy.
That was so good.
Yeah. And it was also like I was busy. Like I was doing things, and I was in a place where I was happy, and like I didn't have that option, and I didn't have a reason to, because I had no reason to, like, I was having this other experience. I had no reason to like be posting about events or like keeping up with people or making plans because I'm not there. So it's like
irrelevant.
I was like, well, I'll reconnect with people when I get back.
Yeah. And nothing bad happened.
No.
It was okay.
Yeah.
The world didn't end when you put down your phone.
No, it was okay.
That is the message we all need to hear. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Have a practice of like self-reflection. If you could be religious, I think that would help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, like
Yeah.
if you like put your phone down and like prayed or like went to like some sort of or like had some sort of like something to worship in your life that is not your phone, I would imagine, I feel as though that would be fulfilling.
Or like meditating,
Meditating.
like using that clue of like, oh, you need to have this, like pick up your phone and doom scroll. Like,
Yeah.
well, that's your time to do this.
Exactly. Or like, yeah, I think that would do, yeah, I think that would do a lot of good. Yeah. In theory, I don't know.
Everything's good in theory.
It's true.
Okay, and then I guess I hate to end it. I'm having a blast.
Yeah, I yap so much. Oh my gosh.
Just like to encapsulate this, it can be related to something we've talked about. It can be anything you want. Any final thoughts? This is your soapbox.
Whoa. Oh
to my 17 subscribers. Say your piece.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. I would say Mark Fisher, Capitalist Realism, Kyle Chayka, The Flattening of Culture. Whatever that book is called, I just have been reading it and I can't remember the name now.
Okay.
I would say Margaret Atwood, White Noise by Don DeLillo. And I would say Techno-Feudalism, Yanis Varoufakis. Those are important things to read. That's that. I think that all of those things, those are works that I've been engaging with like recently. Also Candy House by Jennifer Egan, that I feel like have given me this, like they're all sort of different, but they interlock and they bleed into each other in a way that I feel is like very explanatory of the present and also prophetic of the future. And I think is like the roadmap of the future if things continue to go as they go. I think it's really important to look forward. Mark Fisher has this, is this guy that said this thing like there's no, it's easier to imagine the end of the world than the end of capitalism. And at the same time, there is like this big resurgence in like Afro and Indigenous futurism as like a genre of like often books or music or all sorts of like cultural production. And I think that is perhaps the way forward is like if there are communities who are able to imagine the future, then those are the communities that we should be like following and listening to for ideas of the future. Because like if we literally all our visions of the future are apocalyptic, we need to look into like who is imagining an alternative, because we need an alternative. And we need to get off our phones. No more Italian brain rot. Yeah, kids need to, they need, like, I seriously believe they need to like ban phones and screens from schools. Like they've done that in some countries.
The UK.
Yeah, in the UK. Because the children are the future. And if they are brain rotted from like infancy, then there's absolutely no hope. Yeah. Probably out of all of this, that is the scariest thing to me. We'll have essentially like neurological damage from like as an entire generation, and like extremely shortened attention spans and like behavioral issues. And how are those people going to cooperate and like work together to bring something forth? I don't know, man.
Gotta take care of myself so I can be a healthy old lady.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. Jeez, it's so wild. I've been in a bit of a gloomy mood, but there's also always like hope, and we really, really have to hold on to that because, yeah, like if we don't do that, then
it's all we got.
It's all we got.
What a thought-provoking conversation. I have to thank Lina for answering my big questions, offering tangible advice, calling out tech injustices, and indulging my interest in techno-feudalism. Thank you for listening, and you can find this podcast, my writing, and more about my guests on Substack at KennyC402. Keep sleuthing.